This year, one of the recipients of the UNA USA Pacific Los Angeles chapter's Human Rights Award is Leland Stewart. He's our favorite and most effective peacemaker. For most of us here, his name is very, very familiar. He truly manifests the principle of world unity. Leland Stewart graduated in mechanical engineering and math from the University of Michigan and in theology from Harvard Divinity School. He has authored and compiled quite a few books, among them World Scriptures, a very in-depth study of the essence of the scriptures of the world's religious and spiritual movements, Science and Spirituality, which includes articles, readings, and songs from ancient and modern sources. Another book which is yet to be published, From Technological Power to Lasting Peace, a worldview of the coming global civilization covering many aspects of life. He has received numerous awards for his interfaith and interreligious work. He also trains interfaith ministers and organizes interfaith celebration. Leland Stewart, with his late wife Elizabeth, founded the Unity and Diversity World Council in 1965, the international cooperation year initiated by the United Nations, and he has been running it ever since as its founder and central coordinator. One of the major aspects of UDC work is the annual presentation of Peace Sunday. The Peace Fest, which was held September 21st to 23rd, and Peace Convergence Process was launched this year, which leads to a much larger Peace Sunday event in 2015. Hope you'll all join us for all the Peace Sundays. The Unity and Diversity, UDC, Peace Wheel, which was the basis for the Peace Convergence Process, really grabbed all our full attention. It is a unique formula to really push the peacemaking process to newer dimensions. I'll let you hear it from the man himself, Leland Stewart, as soon as he gets his award. Leland, please come up.
I'm truly honored at having received this award today. Unity University World Council, in its newly established Peace Wheel, sees human rights as an important aspect of what is necessary to achieve peace in the world. We haven't talked a lot about human rights as such, yet our work over the years has certainly been concerned about human rights and the worth of each individual in building a meaningful global society. One of the goals we have spoken about very often is the place of the United Nations in the achievement of a peaceful world. Since the United Nations was born in San Francisco in 1945, the UN is much more acknowledged in that city. Here in the Los Angeles area, the UN seems to be seldom mentioned and little supported by comparison. And one of our jobs here, and I hope it's a job of the UNA as well as the UDC, is to help support the UN and get it to be acknowledged for what it really is. I don't know why it's taking so long or so difficult for people to understand what the UN is doing and to proclaim that. The UDC was originally called International Cooperation Council, which grew out of our participation in International Cooperation Year 1965 that was developed by the General Assembly of the United Nations. We may be the only organization which started during that year and has continued from then until now, and we consider that our work is truly just beginning. Democracy derives from its reliance on governance of the people, by the people, and for the people. The United Nations is the most important effort, in my opinion, to bring the nations of the world together in order to provide cooperative governance of the world. But in order for the UN to function appropriately, it needs the support of the peoples of the world. The people of the United States need to do our part to bring individuals, groups, and networks together in cooperation and mutual support. The UN is helping that process to happen, but there is no substitute for the people themselves coming together in our own support and also in support of the United Nations. Our publication, Science and Spirituality, contains the complete Universal Declaration of Human Rights. That's this book here that Rini Ghosh spoke about. And in there is the whole thing, including the preamble. These rights include the equal status of women, no one to be held in slavery, no torture, no arbitrary arrest, the right to a nationality, the right of free speech and assembly, the right to reasonable working hours, and the right to take our part in our government. I brought along 2 copies in case any of you are interested in looking at this book and at this Universal Declaration of Human Rights. UDC supports these rights, and it supports a much greater understanding and backing of the United Nations. Most of all, we believe that there must be a people's equivalent of the UN that supports human rights, peace, justice, and a sustainable environment. As Rini mentioned, our major events consist of an annual Peace Sunday, the next one probably being in June of 2013, and a more major one on 2/15 that she mentioned in support of the 70th anniversary of the United Nations. By the way, that's also the 50th anniversary of the Unity University World Council since we began during 20 years later in the International Cooperations Year. Next Sunday, we're holding an interfaith celebration of light at the Village Church in West Los Angeles, which is an event involving almost all of the interfaith councils in Los Angeles and Southern California, and several separate faith groups in the greater Los Angeles area. You are certainly cordially invited to attend. Thank you again for this award, as recognizing the work we are doing. May peace prevail on earth. Thank you.